Hello and welcome to English 1302, Composition and Rhetoric Part 2. I'm Professor Libby Bennett and I will be your instructor for the next 3 weeks. I wanted to create a brief overview of the classroom. We're going to introduce you to the online classroom and we'll also look at Connect. Anytime you need to get in touch with me, I prefer that you email me from within the D2L classroom. You can also use my standard Lone Star email, which is up on the screen, but D2L is easier to manage from within the course, and a lot of times student emails get put in a spam folder if they go directly to my Lone Star email, and I can't access junk mail like a normal computer. It's a little bit more complicated, so there could be a 2 or 3 day lag between when I'm notified that you even emailed me. I check email Monday through Thursday during the mini-mester. Also, I will not be available on Memorial Day weekend. I send reminders out in the news on D2L, which I'll show you in a moment, and also through Remind. So if you're familiar with Remind, it's a one-way texting app where I text updates for you. I'll remind you of due dates and things like that. If there's going to be a delay in response or delay in grading, I also send it out that way. Also, if there's any extra credit opportunities, I send them out to Remind. So the easiest way to sign on is to text 81010 with this message here. We're going to go over the syllabus and the course. We're going to talk about the course, participation, dropping the class, online assignments, essays, your final essay exemption, which is something new I'm trying this term, your grade determination, letter grade assignment, and then we'll go over the instructional outline. The course is an intensive study of and practice in strategies and techniques for developing research-based, expository, and persuasive texts. Emphasis on effective and ethical rhetorical inquiry, including primary and secondary research methods, critical reading of verbal, visual, and multimedia texts, synthesis, etc. So basically what we're going to be doing all for the next 3 weeks is arguing. There are 5 student learning outcomes that Lone Star expects you to master by the end of the course so that you're ready for later English classes and later classes throughout college. These are also learning outcomes that make this class transferable to universities. You have to demonstrate the knowledge of individual and collaborative research process, develop ideas and synthesize primary and secondary sources within focused arguments, analyze, interpret, and evaluate a variety of texts for ethical and logical uses of evidence, write in a style that clearly communicates meaning, builds credibility, and inspires belief or action. Apply the conventions of style manuals, which in this class will be MLA formatting. So attendance and participation. In the mini-mesters, I do not require that you sign into class a certain number of times a week. However, the class is really intense because we're trying to squeeze 16 weeks of instruction into about 3 weeks. So your involvement, in order to be successful, you should plan on being active in the class 5 days a week. Also, whenever you're responding to posts, people sometimes share opinions that you don't agree with. Make sure that you're always respectful, that you never attack the person. You can disagree respectfully with what other people say, but I expect you to use basic rules of etiquette. My drop rule. I will drop you from the course for one reason only, and that is if you do not complete Essay 1 by its due date. If you're not passing the course with a 60 by May 30th, you should drop the course because there's really not enough left after that to bring you up to a 70, and I know that it's really important that this course transfers to the university. 60 will actually pass the class, but 70 allows it to be transferable. Whether you drop or I drop, there could be some financial implications. It could affect student visas, financial aid, GI benefits, things like that. So make sure that you check with a student advisor. Online assignments. We're going to be using an online platform called Connect, and I'll actually show you that in just a couple minutes. Connect includes grammar exercises and chapter quizzes. Additional assignments may be added in Connect as we move forward. It's a platform where I can create quizzes as well as use stock questions that are more topic specific. If any additions are made, I'll let you know by posting in D2L News, and in just a moment I'll show you what those platforms look like. These assignments are 20% of your grade, so they're definitely something you're going to want to complete. Essays. We have large essays in this class, and all the essays work together are worth 30% of your final grade. When you write these papers, you'll be required to incorporate research into them, and you'll also be doing a peer review. Peer review is defined as being fully prepared for the peer review. These actually have due dates where I need to see the review that you've got. There are due dates for this, and they're usually a day or two before the final paper is due. What this is you will actually have to have your complete and total paper ready for review. This needs to be the quality that you would normally turn into a professor. Once it's at that point, Then we go into the peer review and we'll review for content and a second review for grammar. So I'll be putting you in groups, and when we get closer to when that happens, you'll have more solid instructions. So the peer review is worth 30 points of your final essay grade. And then it's also graded as a separate in-class assignment, like an online writing assignment. It's very important that you do this. The peer review is actually going to make sure that your entire essay is aligned with the rubric. So it's very important that you have that ready for your peer reviews. So the final exam and the exemption. So your final exam is an essay, and I'll provide more information about this assignment as we get a little further in the semester. The exam itself is worth 20% of your final grade. I've created criteria that will allow you to exempt yourself from the final. You have to have completed 100% of all the course assignments and have a course average of 82.51 by Wednesday, May 31st. Then I will exempt you from the final exam essay. As far as late work goes, I do not accept any late work. It's a 3-week course, and there's really no room for special accommodations in the event of travel or illness. You just have to push through. The textbook. So you're going to need to purchase the textbook and also Connect Access. You can buy them as a bundle at the UP bookstore, and they're about $96. It comes with a textbook that is a loose leaf version, so you keep it in a binder. I did distribute a Google Doc with students who took 1302 in the spring who were selling their books. I'm not sure how many people are still on that list, but feel free to check. You can use either the most recent version or the one just before this. I think it's the 7th and 8th editions. They're pretty close. Just make sure that the title of the chapter matches the title that I talk about. One thing that might be different is I do reference the textbook sometimes in online presentations where I say go to this page and look at these examples, and I'm looking at the most recent version of the text for that. Your first grade is going to be the receipt of your purchase of Connect, and that's due Wednesday, May 17th. So what'll happen is when you sign up for Connect, you'll get an email back saying thank you for purchasing or something like that. You'll screenshot that. You can black out any credit card information, addresses, or whatever. You'll upload that image to D2L Dropbox, and that's worth your first quiz grade. The book will look like this if you get it from the bookstore or from a previous student. Grammar and mechanics. So everything you write in here must be written in complete sentences. You must use proper grammar, punctuation, spelling, and mechanics. Make sure you pay attention to MLA style, any other kind of online guides. I will help you find those over the course of the semester. And then also you get free access to Grammarly Premium as a Lone Star UP student. So I've posted instructions in D2L as to how to get your free Grammarly account. You can go to Content Week 1 and then Getting Ready for the May Mini, and there's a Word document that shows you how to get that. Grammarly is a really helpful tool because it's going to look at things like spell check does, but it also goes a bit further and looks at easily confused words and helps with word choice so that after you start using Grammarly, your writing actually improves. The grade determination. So grammar and chapter quizzes, and these are typically things found in Connect, are worth 20%. Discussion boards are worth 30%. Large essays are worth 30%, and your final exam is worth 20%. We're on a standard 4.0 grading scale here, so anything from a 90 to 100 is an A, and that's a 4.0. 80 to 89 is a B, 3.0. 70 to 79 is a C, and so on. Remember, anything below 70 will not transfer to a university. The withdrawal date for the school is May 30th, 17. This will also affect the 6-drop rule, which has to do with funding for school, so make sure you're familiar with that. The tentative instructional outline. I have a general outline in the syllabus, which I emailed everyone, that says what the assignments are. So I do encourage you to look at those. Look at the discussion boards. They do have word count requirements and deadlines. I can alter these deadlines at any point. However, in an online class that's only 3 weeks long, there's very little wiggle room. So if I do change anything, I'll notify you through D2L News or I'll send it out in Remind. Okay, let's go to lonestar.edu. So once you sign into d2l.lonestar.edu, you'll come to the main landing page, and this will show every class you're taking. You can come up here to our course, which is this one. If you click on this little push pin, even if it's grayed out, it'll make sure that it pops up at the top so you don't have to keep looking for things, which I find helpful. Once you're in our classroom, this is the landing page. So news, this is the news area where any news will be posted, and after I finish recording this video, I'll actually post the link there. You'll be looking at content and grades primarily. So I'm going to show you content here. The other one that you will click on will be grades, and that'll show you your grades in the course. I'll set up a separate video later this week that shows you how to access those. If I click grades right now, you'll see everybody's name in the grade book with no grade. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me through D2L. I'll be checking the I'll be checking the online classroom later today. Bye.